The real Islamic political order. Does Islam still holds any relevance to the political organism of state in this evolving age of science and contemporary political systems? Let us first understand what does the word politics means. Politics has been derived from the Greek word politica, meaning affairs of the cities. Hence, in context of a state, these are the activities associated with the governance of a country. Management of affairs is done through laws based on moral principles, and these principles are brewed from standards of right and wrong, derived primarily from expedience and interests furnished exclusively by time and socio-economic interests. Thus, human-developed standards of morality cause dissension and division among human groups. Unanimity on the standards of right and wrong is imperative for the unity of a state. But this unanimity is not possible unless the nation and community agrees on moral obligations arising from a permanent absolute moral law, which only religion can offer. And Islam is the only religion which is inherently configured to the relative progression of humankind in every time, space, and environment. Trekking through the pages of history, the rise and fall of nations, human civilizations, it becomes clear that it is a cyclic pattern that repeats over time. Moral degradation of a society once reaches the trough. It stimulates the tipping point, resulting either in its annihilation or an ideological shift through reformers. Retrospectively, Abraham, Jesus, and Muhammad, peace be upon them, as supreme reformers redefined the moral standards and norms through divine guidance, at those tipping points of their times when the change or annihilation was inevitable. Just analysis of the retrospective Quranic nations gives us the plausible reasoning for their regression and disorientation. Prominent ones include denial of master virtue, justice system, supporting the tyrant leaders, false notion of knowledge supremacy by rejecting the very idea of divine guidance, self-defined moral standards, unequal distribution of wealth, grandeur delusion, acceptance to crimes and sins, muting self-conscious through irrational reasoning, and most importantly reverence to false gods who could give any fake sense of physical and mental security. Deep insight into the basis of transcendence of era of Muhammad, peace be upon him, gives us the plausible reasoning for the ascendancy of Islam in Arabian Peninsula during the times of righteous caliphs, that these destitute, plight, and ignorant Arabs, within a span of less than a century, knelt down the mighty Roman and Persian empires, a change so swift. Some of the major principles which radiated through these golden eras were belief on supreme articulation of Allah, justice, restoration of dignity and honor for all, rule of law, liberty, unique economic system, enjoin good and forbidding evil, primacy of knowledge and education, pluralism, and military prowess. But dissection of righteous caliphate eras help us understand some of the challenges and digressions that marks the end of golden era of Islam, merely 30 years after the demise of Holy Prophet, peace be upon him. First Caliph Abu Bakr suffered from existential threats through territorial disturbances, internal strifes, and economic insecurity. Second Caliph Umar endured from unequal distribution of wealth due to rapid conquests and varying social security program. Third Caliph Usman confronted the challenges of misappropriation of wealth, non-accountability of executive and administrative functionaries, and feudalism. While fourth Caliph Ali suffered from rebellions, revolts, plunder, confusion, and political disorder. These 3 decades of righteous caliphate are the acme of Islamic political ideology, which primarily offers 2 modus operandis: nomination and election, of the most competent and eligible people to administer state affairs. Any political system offered beyond the era of caliphate shall not be taken into considerations, as they lacked some of the key cardinals of Islamic political thought.